Hey everybody, my name is Shane Slepian, otherwise known as Time Capsule. What I've wanted to talk about for some time now is comedy and how it works and why certain people don't always laugh at the things that you might think they should laugh at. I've wanted to talk about why comedy is so subjective, particularly among different classes and groups for some time now. I decided that I really wanted to talk about this after I saw Hannah Gadsby's special Nanette, which has been up for a long time now, but I just saw it recently. She deconstructs the idea of a joke, and how by being a comedian she necessarily devalues her own story, and it doesn't always show what she wants it to show. A joke, she contends, has two parts. It's a beginning and a middle, starting at your normal status quo area, and then going to, the obstacle shit route. And when you're down at the bottom, that's when people can laugh, if it's comedy, but you're never gonna get that ending, which is often where the learning takes place. As someone who grew up watching a lot of the comedy that, my dad's generation really watched, I find that I often have to double back on the things that I was told were funny as a child, and basically offer justification for why I don't think it's funny. The truth is, I don't think transphobia is funny. I don't think homophobia is funny. I don't think sexism or sexual violence is funny. Oh, content warning for sexual violence. That's a topic that does get brought up a lot. I don't think those things are funny. And being told that I'm too sensitive for caring about a subject that necessarily means more to me than it does to somebody else is really shitty. And don't ever tell someone that they're being too sensitive. If they're hurt by it, that's just what it is. There's one particular topic I want to bring up as an example of something that we're often told to laugh at, but many of us simply can't laugh at, or we won't laugh at in the ways that a comedian asks us to laugh at. And, trigger warning right here, that subject is rape and sexual violence. I think the first time I really started thinking about rape jokes was when I was doing sort of a deep dive into the life of Graham Chapman. I just think I was watching a documentary about him and I started doing some research. If you don't know, Graham Chapman was a member of the Monty Python comedy group. So if you've ever seen Holy Grail or Life of Brian, he was the main character in both of those. Some stuff about Graham Chapman, I don't know a whole lot about his life. He did go to Cambridge, so I'm kind of assuming that he was very white. He was a gay man, although according to his documentary, he was attracted to several women, which is significant because he was apparently known to have physically harassed several women around him, which is not great. Comedians, man. What is it about them? I found, I didn't even watch the full movie. It was a movie that he'd been in, and I saw a trailer for it. And he's a pirate. I think his name is Yellowbeard. And I can't find this clip now. Yellowbeard has a wife who's just a woman who's obsessed with him and kind of follows him around and tries to get in touch every few years. And by and by, I came to learn that woman only thought that they were in a relationship because he raped her. And she's been obsessed with him ever since. Now, I don't know the story of why Graham Chapman wrote that. This movie was made in 1982. My assumption is that someone writing that joke in 1982 probably thought that they were deconstructing the idea of a rape joke. I don't know necessarily if that's true, but if the joke is literally just that this person was raped and psychologically damaged from it, it's not great. The thing is that this joke doesn't really work as a deconstruction either. So in one way you could be like, oh, I guess he became the victim of that rape because now he's attached to this woman who wants to have a relationship with him and whatever. That sucks. Straight men hate women. It's kind of insane. Straight women hate men, though, so I guess that it plays out well. But the joke doesn't work very well, because think about the mechanism behind it. What's the apparatus it's sitting on? No joke is funny unless it's imitating life in some way. What would that even be? Even if you're just like making silly sounds with your mouth, even if a joke is absurd, you're still relying on the fact that the people who are listening to the joke have been in the world and know how the world works, and you're imitating something in the world in an unexpected way. So what facts does this joke rely on? Well, it relies on an implicit understanding that a woman is primarily designed to be wanted by men. A woman's real goal is just to be wanted by a man, and as long as she feels that way, she doesn't care what happens to her. That women, if you were to take this understanding further, enjoy being raped. Even if they don't enjoy their rape, there's always a little part of them that's like, well, he didn't stick around after. This is actually a joke that is made use of in, I think it's Young Frankenstein. That's the one, the Mel Brooks one. Yeah. Frankenstein's monster sexually assaults one of the women, and then he leaves, and she's like, oh, men are all the same. They want a couple of, I don't know. I don't remember the full joke. So it's like, oh, she doesn't care that she was raped. She cares that she was abandoned. Now, if you've ever talked to a rape survivor or just listened to one of their stories, you know that that's not. It's not. The trauma of being raped is having your body violated, having your autonomy violated. Another person thinking that they know or get to do something to you when they don't. So this woman in this movie, being portrayed essentially as a needy partner who just wants her man around, isn't reflective of a rape victim. This is not the same thing as criticizing the rapist. This is a reflection on the rape victim herself. The Yellowbeard character doesn't really have much of a reaction to this. It's just like, oh, fucking wives, you know what I mean?
Fucking wives.
We're not deconstructing what it means to be a rapist. We're deconstructing what it means to be a rape victim. And to be a rape victim in this movie's eyes is to want more. And I don't think that's okay. Another thing about Graham Chapman, he apparently confronted David Bowie at some point about his flamboyant appearance, the way he basically dressed in public, because, not in public, like, for performances. He wore a lot of, like, sequins and, like, tight clothing, theoretically effeminate clothing. David Bowie was a bisexual man, in case you don't know. So he was queer, and Graham Chapman was also queer. Shut up. And Graham Chapman scolded him for basically dressing in what he perceived to be an effeminate fashion because it makes gay people look bad. You know, who's gonna respect gay people if they dress like an effeminate person? As if gay men don't deserve respect exactly for who they are and not for some way society wants to change them into being. You know, Graham Chapman was I didn't know him personally, but he expressed himself in a pretty butch way. And in some ways, that's a preference. Effeminate gay men don't always get the same luxuries that a butch gay man does. But moreover, think about how short-sighted that is. Think about, like, the ballroom culture in the 80s, where he was already an adult man, and this had been going on for decades, where gay men and trans women were blending and basically deconstructing what it meant to express in an effeminate way. There's an entire generation of trans women who might not get to be living their authentic truth if not for that experimentation. And he's just like, no, you need to act better. And of course, like, why is acting masculine better, right? Why? Just this idea that, like, you need to act the way power wants you to act if you want respect. And I don't know. No, that's not okay. And I think that's sort of embodied in the Yellowbeard movie. Again, I haven't seen this movie. If the woman does somehow deconstruct her own rape, then I will eat my own words. But we're asked to take the powerful's point of view. Women, you know what they're like. The next person I want to talk about is another person who I was told to really admire growing up. And in some ways I guess I do, but in other ways not really. His name is George Carlin. Famous comedian, many of you have probably heard of him, and he liked joking about rape. And he argued that joking about rape was okay, it just had to do with how you do it. And I agree. There probably are good ways to talk about rape and to joke about it in such a way that alleviates some of the stress of having been through trauma. For instance, Lindsey Ellis, whom I stan, just uploaded a video in response to being cancelled on Twitter that involved a description of a sexual assault that she experienced, as well as witnessing the sexual assault of a friend of hers. She talks about how important comedy was, and just humor between friends was in getting her through that time period. So it can be funny, but it's depends on who's saying it. No, that's not true. It's not about who's saying it. It's about what you're being asked to laugh at. So I'm gonna watch a short clip by George Carlin where he talks about why rape jokes can be okay, and he gives an example of something he finds to be an okay rape joke. I'm gonna watch that right now. If I can fucking find it.
Oh, some people don't like you to talk like that. Oh, some people would like to shut you up for saying those things. You know that. Lots of people.
Yeah, we're the police.
Lots of groups in this, like rape. They'll say, you can't joke about rape. Rape's not funny. I say, fuck you. I think it's hilarious. How do you like that? I can prove to you that rape is funny. Picture Porky Pig raping Elmer Fudd.
Ha! So, I don't find this joke very funny. Neither the joke itself nor the joke within the joke that he's talking about. So what is funny about, what was it, Elmer Fudd? Elmer Fudd raping Porky Pig. To his mind. I have to tell you right now, he stops there about that joke. He doesn't go on to explain why it's funny. And I don't get it. I don't know. It's like a no-soap radio thing. I don't know what the joke is there. I'm not sure why that's funny. I'm not joking here. Even when I first heard that as an edgy anti-feminist asshole when I was like 14 or whatever, I didn't get the punchline. I can only think that the joke is like Elmer Fudd and Porky Pig are like ugly, short characters with funny voices. So like imagining that happening might be kind of funny because it's funny when unattractive people are raped. If you ever hear a person that you don't particularly find attractive or that you even find unattractive talking about their rape or sexual assault experience, I dare you to laugh at it. I don't find it funny. The joke relies on the idea that unattractive people aren't raped because it's ridiculous. It's something you don't expect to see. It's a subversion of your expectations. But I expect that. I think that anyone can be raped. I don't know if George Carlin was ever assaulted in his life, sexually assaulted. I imagine a lot of the women in his life were more likely to have been assaulted than he was. In fact, I think one of the autobiographies he wrote, he actually talks about a group of his friends like assaulting a woman, like him and other friends of his, like just grabbing a woman and like holding her down. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. Don't quote me. I'm not gonna look it up. Did not take consent very seriously. I'm like already getting upset. I don't know if you can tell, but This is what, this is why I couldn't make a video essay about this. I can't sit down in front of my computer and, write about this for, 15 hours. And then talk about it for an hour, and then hear myself talk about it for 5 hours for editing. I can't do it. And it's you know what you're doing. No, you don't know what you're doing, but you know what a joke is. A joke is trying to subvert your expectations by relying on things you already know. Saying something that we all know to be true in an unexpected way. And I don't know it to be funny that unattractive people can be raped. That doesn't tickle my funny bone. No, that's a rape joke. Makes me really upset. So here's the thing that really fucked me up this week. Something that made me really upset. I wrote another article on my Medium, I think months and months ago already. It was about Elliot Page. It's when he came out as trans. And I wrote an article basically targeting all the lesbians who felt personally attacked by his decision to come out and be his authentic self in public. They talked about the whole losing lesbians thing, and I was like, that's not what this is. You're gaining a trans man. That's a good thing. But yeah, so I wrote this entire thing, nothing to do with the theory of gender, just about how we need to respect Elliot Page himself as a human being and other trans men and transmasculine people who come out. AFAB NBs, NBs in general, all trans people. We need to respect all of them. And here's what this person on Medium, and I lost it. I'm not gonna say I didn't. I came after them when I read this comment. Perhaps a little too hard, but I couldn't. I think they removed it. Holy shit. No, it's gone. No! Holy shit, that person actually deleted it. I didn't expect this. Okay. So, basically, I made this a whole article about, we need to respect Elliot Page, and this person's conservative talk show host, Ben Shapiro, as if I didn't know who that was, made a really interesting point, which is is she straight now because she's a man? It's first of all, wrong pronoun. Second of all, they said they were queer in their coming out statement, so not a mystery there. And C, that's not what my fucking article was about. My article was about respecting this person. Why are you, as Queen Contra of the House of Points says, why are you turning this person's identity into some abstract theory of gender? He's a person. He needs to be respected. And I reacted with something like, this sentiment threatens people like me, puts us in danger, because they're a threat to trans liberation. I don't want to live in a world where it's okay to respond to acts of aggression with, but are you a man really? Are you non-binary really? Aren't you actually a woman? No bitch, I'm not. Move on. I'm not here to explain that to you, because I don't know why I'm non-binary. It's just the way it is. Let's have a sip, babes. I don't want to be told what to laugh at. If you think making a joke about something controversial is worth it because you have your artistic vision, I just want to say to you, I hope you have a damn good fucking reason for putting someone in a state of mental distress when you do it. Because for many people, just hearing someone disregard their sexuality or their gender or their experience as a rape survivor can bring up some pretty bad memories and can ruin, it can take away a week or a month of their life. Or their life entirely, if you get them at the right time. And if the jokes are as excellent as we've seen so far, I don't think you do. Listen, when I die and I go to hell and I'm chilling at the bar with George Carlin and Graham Chapman, there's a decent chance that I can get them to say, like, fuck, man, I don't even know why I said that. It's clearly not true. I just said it for a joke and it didn't work, and I'm sorry for any pain I would have caused. You know. And I'll say, like, fucking A, man, that's wonderful. I'm glad you don't believe those things. I don't think that you're a bad person because you do or have told jokes that rely on shitty premises. I'm not here to condemn people. I know what sometimes feels like I do because I get angry, and it's so hard not to feel angry all the time when you're surrounded by people who are just telling you that your opinion is fucking too much. But just because they're telling me that my identity is too much doesn't mean that I feel that way about theirs. And you're not a bad person just because you tell these jokes sometimes, or you did in the past and now you regret it. I'm not condemning people. But when someone tells you that they've noticed something about the way you think that isn't good for people that you're surrounded with, I hope that you have the self-awareness and passion for life to want to change a little bit. The best part about being alive is being happy with other people. And if you're making everyone miserable and they are too afraid to tell you, your life is going to be worse. I believe in rehabilitation. If you ever told a rape joke in your life, or a joke about transphobia or homophobia that treated the victims of abuse as the punchline, it's okay. Just reach out to me and I'll tell you you're fine. But you have to apologize. Not to me. Fuck, you didn't do anything to me. But you need to try to make amends. Because otherwise, you won't get better. And you'll die without ever having achieved that bit of understanding. I think that's what I wanted to say. I don't know if this is a good format for me necessarily. I did enjoy doing it. It's nice to get on camera without having to do like 5 months worth of prepping. If you liked this format, go ahead and just tell me in the comments like, hey, do this again. Don't make videos every 2 years. A little more frequently. That would be nice. If you don't care, then don't leave a comment, and then you're set. In other news, I just published a book, an ebook on Amazon. I know Amazon. I published a book, and I would like you to buy it. It's only 25-ish pages. It's about screenwriting. I basically teach you how to write screenplays in a way that doesn't suck, because sucking sucks. Am I right, ladies? Sucking sucks? Am I right, ladies? Am I right, gentlemen? Am I right, non-binary pals? If you are a writer of screenplays, what you can go ahead and do is buy the book, $5, on Amazon. I'll put the link in the my vagina. Hopefully I'll edit that out. If I don't, I'm sorry. I'll put the link down there, and what you can do is take the receipt, a PDF of the receipt, send it to me on my website, which I'll also put down there, and I will write you a report of your screenplay for free, which is something I do professionally for money. So if you buy the $5 book, you can get like $60 worth of value of me telling you about if your script works or not. So if you would like all of that value, then you gotta get to that description section and do that. Yes. Follow me on Medium, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, give me money on Ko-fi, coffee, give me money on Kofi Kingston, my best friend, WWE's Kofi Kingston. The money would really help. Money is good. I like money. And I think you do too. So think about if you were me. What would you want me to do in this situation? Would you want me to give you money or not give you money? And evaluate your worth as a person in relation to that. I think that's a fair metric. Bye.